Hello and welcome to Bytes of Health, where we hope to take a bite out of your parent worries each day with sound advice and guidance. Every morning, we'll answer a commonly asked pediatric question in 5 minutes or less. I'm Dr. Jess Steier, a public health scientist, and today I'm joined by our amazing pediatrician bestie, Dr. Anthony Porto. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
So today we are going to talk about infant growth. The clock is ticking, so let's get to it. All right, so we know that for new parents, the focus is often on key aspects, right? So like weight gain, sleep, and of course, diaper changes. Let's explore the nuances of infant growth. Anthony, how often should my infant be weighed?
So this is a question we get often from a lot of parents who really want to make sure that their little ones are growing well and thriving. My recommendation is to really limit your infant from being weighed until they're at their regular visits with their pediatrician. The good thing is, during the first 6 months of life, your child will be seeing the pediatrician very often, usually a few days after coming home from the hospital, then at 1 to 2 weeks of age, and then again at a month, and then again at 2, 3, 4, and 6 months of life. So there'll be enough time for your child to be weighed. And what I ask parents to do is when your child is seen by the pediatrician, they're going to be weighed and their height's going to be checked and they're going to be plotted on a growth chart. Typically, for the first 2 years of life, we're going to use the WHO growth charts because this represents more breastfed infants and also represents more diverse population of ethnicities. And so ask your pediatrician, what is my child's percentile? Because it's really important about your child gaining along their percentile. Each child will grow differently. So it's not about having the highest percentile, but making sure they're actually growing at their own pace.
Should we purchase a scale for home use?
No. I would definitely resist the temptation. With my first child, the pediatrician said, why don't you get a scale? And so I bought a scale for my child and I would look at the scale and I would often weigh my child even though I didn't need to. So, he's changing his diaper. Let's check his weight. And I'd be happy if he gained an ounce and then really sad if he didn't gain an ounce or if he lost weight. So I think it led to more unnecessary anxiety and stress. So a baby's weight can fluctuate throughout the day and home scales may not match the precision of what a pediatrician scale does. So it's really best to resist the temptation and then rely on consistent measurements at regular doctor appointments.
Parents often wonder about the right amount of weight gain for their infants. I know I did. What should they be aiming for? And are there any signs that they should watch out for?
Sure. I think the most important thing is, again, seeing how your child is growing along their own growth chart. But I like to also give families what, if I'm seeing them in 1 month of life, what to expect at 2 months of life when they come into the office. So typically during the first 3 months, a child gains about an ounce per day. And then from 3 to 6 months of life, they gain an ounce every other day. And then between 6 to 12 months of life, it's 1 ounce every 3 days. And why I think it's important to sort of educate families on this is that don't worry if the growth rates slow down. It's supposed to slow down as your child gets older. So between 6 to 9 months of life, when families come to the office, they often say, I don't know if my child's gaining weight enough. Well, they are gaining a weight for how they should at that age, but it's less than they were during the first 6 months of life. So this is all perfectly normal.
What are some signs of inadequate intake and what can I do about it?
Sure. I think the most important thing is just look at your child, right? So if they're eating well, stooling well, and they're peeing regularly, this should help reassure you. However, if they have signs of dehydration, they're not gaining weight well, and some signs of dehydration could be fatigue, irritability, they may have less wet diapers than normal, or if that open spot, their soft spot on the front part of their head, known as the anterior fontanelle, is sunken, these are signs that you should consult your pediatrician.
So if a parent is concerned about their child's weight gain, what steps can they take? And are there any practical strategies to address this issue?
So I think the first thing to do is if your child is decreasing from their normal growth pattern, so they're decreasing percentiles, it's important to really understand why this is happening. So is it due to insufficient caloric intake, which is probably the most common thing? They're not getting enough calories in. Or is it due to increased losses? So are they having diarrhea? Or do they need more because of other things that may be going on? So for young infants, some simple ways to do things is fortifying breast milk with formula, or by fortifying and concentrating the formula with additional calories. So this can be helpful to ensure they get more calories without increasing the volume. In older infants who have already started solids, I usually recommend higher calorie solids like avocado, or you can add some coconut oil or olive oil to foods. And this can help to increase overall calorie intake. The goal is really to ensure adequate calories while also making sure that the feeding experience is positive and stress-free.
Wow, well, I learned a lot. We hope you learned a lot, and we have lots more to share. You can get your Bite of Health every day, Monday through Friday. If you like what you've heard here, let us know. Leave us a review on Apple and be sure to tell your friends. Remember, there is no single or best way to parent. Parenting is a journey, and we are all just doing our very best. We wish you happy, healthy, and stress-free parenting.